friends, what we're going to do today is we are going to draw a sun uh, using lines and patterns. Okay, so let's see the supplies that we need. We need paper. I'm using this half size paper. um, we need some crayons, we need the markers and a pencil, something to draw a circle with, and that's all. Okay, so let's get to the lesson. Let me put away these things so that we have space to show what we are doing. So first, let's talk about, last week we were talking about lines, right? A line is a dot going on a walk, according to Vincent van Gogh. Lines can make shapes. Lines can be used by the artist to draw the contour line or the outline. The lines can be repeatedly used to come up with patterns. Okay, so patterns can be made with lines. It can also be made with shapes. Shape is another line, right? We can also make patterns using colors. So we are going to incorporate all these three things and make a landscape type of art. Okay, so let's see what we are drawing. We are going to draw a sun. It can be a sun setting. What can we? Let me show you what it is. So when you are drawing on the paper, you can draw with a black crayon. Okay. When you practice drawing, use a pencil. Okay. So first thing what we are going to do is we are going to draw the foreground. Okay. So when we are drawing something, a landscape, something, we usually divide the paper into three parts. This is the foreground, the part that is closer to you. This is the middle ground, and this is the background. This is like a forecast. So a forecast, doesn't follow. Forecast is usually done by people who hasn't learned art, so they don't follow any principles of art like art. Okay, so this is like a forecast, but when I say draw a line, it will be easy for you guys to understand where to draw the line if you divide it this way. So usually when we are drawing, normally if it's not a forecast, though it is a forecast, we divide the paper into three parts. The part that is right in front of you, this part, the lower part, it is called the foreground. The part in the middle, yes, I can hear you guys yelling, middle ground. You guys are thinking, why is Mrs. J asking us this? This is something that we learned in second grade. Yes, I know, you guys know it. So this is the part that is right in front of you, is the foreground. The part is in that is in the middle of the paper. It is called the middle ground. And this part in the back, what is it? Background. Usually when we are drawing, not showing perspective or things like that, we call everything behind the main subject. If you're drawing, suppose you're drawing yourself, so anything behind you would be called a background. But when we are drawing a landscape or something, this is the background. Background is way back. Okay, so hope you guys remember that. Now when I say we are going to draw a ground, a zigzag ground, okay, or a wavy ground in the foreground, what you guys are going to do is you're going to draw a ground in the foreground, not in the middle ground. Okay, so foreground is on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to draw line that is, you can either draw a straight line It can be a way. So you can draw a straight line like that. Okay, if that is what you want, you can draw a wavy line. If that is what you want. If you want to draw a zigzag line. Oh, this is not a zigzag line. You can draw that, right? So choose whatever line you're going to make. I'm going to stick to the wavy line. So I have a line in the foreground. Now we are going to draw another type of line, not the same line, another type of line above this line in the middle ground. All right. So we have a line in the foreground. We have another line in the middle ground. Now just above the second line, we are going to draw a third line. Okay. This is almost a straight horizontal line. Now we are going to draw one or more lines in the horizon. Like it can be, actually we are going to, it can be, so if you want, it can be a zigzag line. If you want, it can be a wavy line. If you want, I'll show you all the three options. Okay. So you can draw something like that. What would that be? It would be the mountains. But if you want to draw this way, that is also fine. It will also look like mountains, right? Now, if you just want to draw like this, that is also fine. So choose one of this, and then next, so this is the line. This line is the line where the sky meets the ground. Okay, so there is a name for that. If you guys remember, what is it? Where the sky meets the ground, it's called the horizon line. So if it is horizon, if it is horizon, I was spelling it wrong. So it is the horizon line. So horizon line can be, if it is you're drawing a sea, it would be the place where the sky meets the sea. So this is where the sky meets the ground. So this is the horizon line. Now we are going to draw the sun. If you want to draw, so the next thing, if you want it to be nighttime, what would be in the sky? Do you see sun or the moon? You see the moon, right? So if you want to draw that, you can go ahead, draw a moon. If you want to draw the sun, I'll show you two ways to draw it. So you can draw the sun this way. And the rays is going all the way to the top of the paper, like that. Or another way you can draw the sun is you're going to draw here, maybe here, and then you can draw circles around this circle. And then once you reach here, you're going to just go make C's like that all the way till here. So that is one way you can make. If you want to add some clouds, so in between, you can add clouds. Erase off this line. Got it? In case you decide to draw the nighttime, you can just draw a moon, crescent moon. This is the halo of the moon. Okay, so I showed you different ways that we can draw this landscape. After we are done with this, what we are going to do is we are going to add patterns in each of the sections that we made. So this is one section, the bottom part, this whole thing is a section. Now this is another section, and this is another one. So each section you are going to put a different type of pattern. A pattern, as I said, you can use either lines repeatedly or you can use shapes. So before we start doing the drawing on the paper, let's also practice some patterns. Okay, so you get an idea of, so I'm going to draw a few patterns right now. What I suggest you guys do is I want you guys to also make a few patterns on the paper without looking what I'm doing. Okay, so that way you will also come up with some patterns that I haven't made, and you will also have some patterns that you can copy from me. Okay, because I want you guys to make some patterns. Okay, so I'm going to divide my whiteboard, or if you're using a scrap paper, into, I drew 2 lines and 2 lines horizontally and 2 lines vertically. Now I'm going to fill in each of this with a different line to make a pattern. Okay, let me, you guys start. Okay, you guys are not looking what I'm doing. Once you are done making the pattern, you can take a look at the patterns that I made, and if you want to learn how to make that pattern, you can rewind the thing and then always watch, right? Okay, what should be the next? Let me see whether I or you guys would finish this first, making the pattern part. Maybe you guys. Patterns can be shapes. Again, I'm reminding you, it can be shapes, it can be lines. Okay, again, it can be colors also, but what we're practicing right now is just shapes and lines. My whiteboard is a little bit bigger than, I think maybe it got cut off and so try to come up with simple patterns. The reason is if you have complicated patterns, it will take more time for you to fill in each of the sections. Okay, if that is okay with you, it is fine. But sometimes when it takes a lot of time, sometimes I've seen that the kids get bored, and that will be a problem. So stick to simple. I'm done with my patterns over here. So if you want, you can go ahead, finish the patterns that you're making, then pause the video, go ahead, finish yours, and then come back and then look at if there is anything that you don't know, any of the patterns that you want to check out how it is made, rewind my video and watch that. Okay, so just like I showed you guys how to make the background, not the background, the landscape, we are going to draw the stuff. Okay, so I will be going through each of the things that we did early on the whiteboard. You can follow the steps, or if you want to draw the background and practice one more time, you can go ahead, practice that, and then come back also. Okay, so today, because it's a landscape, we are placing the paper in the landscape style like this, not like this, because we need more space to fill in. Okay, I'm going to start with the first line in the foreground. Remember, this line can be a straight line, it can be a wavy line, a zigzag line. Okay, so I'm going to draw. So I'm not making the sections too big. So the first line, like I'll put 2 fingers here, see, and that is where I'm starting. Okay. I wanted to make it look like it's like a water or something. That's why I'm making this wavy. Okay, so I have my first line done. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm doing one more line that is just above this line. Okay, that is in almost in the middle ground, but not way up. You're not going to leave so much of space. This line again, it can be a wavy line or it can be a straight line, making it slightly wavy. Okay, the next one just above this, I'm going to make it a straight, almost straight line. Okay, now the next thing, you can make it. So what happened here is there is very little space on the top for me. So you can either draw mountains, zigzag lines like that. It can be wavy lines like this, or just simple lines. Okay, so I'm just going to make a lightly curved line because I think there won't be much space for me to draw the sun otherwise. Okay, so I'm just going to slightly curved like that. Then I'm going to take this, that I'm going to make a sun. If you actually, you may not need this. You can just draw this freehand also if you want. Anyway, because I have this right now, I'm going to put this and then draw the sun. So, oh, I forgot. All these lines you guys are going to draw with the, if you do with a pencil, it is fine. But you can do this with the black marker if you want. Okay. Or maybe you can do with the pencil and then after coloring it in, you can outline everything with the marker. It's up to you. Next, I'm going to make the rays. So if you chose to draw the moon instead of the sun, remember how we did it? We just do the halo. Okay, you can go back and see that. If you just did a small sun like in the distance, you can again draw lines like this, like, and maybe clouds. Okay, I'm going to make the rays go all the way. Maybe I'll start. So it should reach the edge of the paper. Okay. So see how I did the lines. Now you can either, maybe should we use just black thing and then make the pattern and then color over with the crayon, or do you want to make the patterns with, it's up to you. You can choose if you want to make the patterns. So if you're using multiple colors, let me tell you one thing. Maybe I'll also, you guys are going to use the warm colors for the moon or the sun. Okay, so what are the warm colors? These three are the warm colors. So for the sky, you will be using these three. For the rest, the mountains and the sea, you're going to use the cold colors. So now let's add the patterns inside the drawing. Okay, so for that, what we're going to do is I'm going to use the cold colors for the sea and the ground, and warm colors for the sun. Okay, so if you drew a moon, also you use the warm color. So the cold colors are blue, purple and green. So this is supposed to be the water, so I'm going to start I'm going to use blue there, and then I'm going to create a pattern, okay, some kind of pattern. It's up to you, so you can choose whatever pattern you're making, okay. If you want to take your scrap paper and check the patterns that you made, you can do that. I'm staying inside that section only, okay? So I'm done with that section. So I'm going to use another color now. So I'm going to use another color and another pattern. Okay. So this time maybe I'm trying to do some simple patterns, as I said before, because otherwise we won't be done today. So I said you can make pattern with shapes, with lines, as well as color. So maybe I will keep that in mind when I'm using the next line and the line next. I'll see that there is a pattern with colors also. Okay, so the next one I'm going to use a green. Okay, green. How should I use green? Maybe I'm just using another type of line. Try to stay within the sections, okay? I'm like trying to be super fast, and I'm getting into the next line. Or maybe when I'm done with everything, I will come back and go over the lines one more time, so that way it will look like it is staying inside. Okay, so if I'm making a pattern, these are the only three colors that I'm using for till here. The sun, I'm using warm colors. So then I should be using blue again, right? So I started with blue. I'm going to use blue. Does this look more like water? It doesn't matter. Maybe it is land and water, because I used more of blue, and green also you use for coloring the water, right? So that may be the reason why it looks that way. What you can do before you move on to the next section, maybe you can take your crayon and inside each of this, if you this can be left this way, or if you want to make it look even nicer, you can go ahead color inside this. Okay, what we are going to do is, let me get another pack of crayons. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the same color that we used. Okay, if we use blue somewhere, we are going to use blue itself. So here is blue. I'm going to take my crayon, and then we're going to color in the same direction, like all should be done like this. We are not going this way. We're going to take our time, color nicely, and it doesn't have to be colored like you don't have to press too hard. We want the patterns that you made with the markers to show. Okay, in case you don't have crayons or you don't want to use crayons, that is also fine. The lines that we made, the patterns that we made is good enough. But I just want to show you guys how it will look if you add more color to it. Okay, I'm putting purple on top of purple. Try to color without any white showing. Like, don't leave some empty areas, like areas without the crayon. Green, let me take the dark green. Okay, then here blue. I use this set of crayons because the other set is brand new, and then I like to have a set with pointy. You guys would be wondering, it should be pointy so that when I am making lines or something like that, so it will be still pointy. This is from last year, so this parts are blunt. So it's okay, but it is good for pointy parts are not good for coloring. It's more like it's nicer when you are drawing something with that or coloring small areas. So I like to use the crayons like this, blunt crayons, to color bigger areas. So we are done with the crayons. Do you know the reason why we were using the markers first? Because if you put the crayons first and put markers on top, you guys would have figured it out, right? It would be difficult, right? You won't be able to put the lines properly. The lines won't show because the wax will resist. So I'm supposed to put the cold colors back, and now I have the warm colors. So let me see, what should the inside of the sun, I'm going to start with red because inside of the sun is a very warm place, right? So now maybe I'll create a pattern here also. Let's see. I'm going to take only yellow and orange to create the pattern. I'm not using the pink. I'm going to put the pink and red away because I'm done using red here. I'll start with yellow. So I'm skipping, then I'm going to use yellow again in the next section. I'm skipping because it's a pattern. I'm skipping, and this also is going to be yellow. Now here I'm going to make some wavy lines. And this section too. See how we created the pattern with the line as well as with the color. Oh, actually we didn't use any shapes. I didn't use any shapes. Did you guys use any shapes to make the pattern today? I forgot all about the shapes. Okay. So now I'm going to, oh, there is one shape, maybe we can say the sun is half a circle, right? So I'm going to use orange, red and yellow to color the sun. try to stay within the line. Don't go to the next section. The yellow, it's difficult to see the yellow patterns that you made with the marker. That's okay. You can still see like something is going on, like you will be able to figure out if you look closely. And you don't need to press the crayon really hard because you need the lines that you made with the markers show, right? So now orange. Use the same color as the color coloring with the crayon. You should use the same color as the color that you use with the marker. See how it looks? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take so if you guys haven't outlined the thing, you're going to take black marker and go over all the lines. Okay, I took a thick one, outline the lines that you made first. When you're outlining, take time. The line should be on the line that you have made before. You are not making a new line. Sometimes when I try to do things fast, I make multiple lines instead of one line. Why we decide to outline in the end is because so that way if some lines have come to the next part, it will look like we will go on the top of the line, right? And then it will look like everything is staying inside. Okay. And we are done. So did you guys have fun making this line landscape or whatever landscape you made? So I know some of you have made landscape with the moon in the background with no water and things like that. Whatever you made, I'm sure that you guys had some fun. You guys are going to write your name, room number and your grade and then email me this in the email ID I'm going to put at the end of the video. Till we meet next week. Bye bye.